Hello. Have you ever felt like you don't know what direction your life is going anymore? Like the path that once made sense suddenly feels unclear? Have you ever had a season where you just felt lost? You were praying, trying, waiting, and still felt unsure about what to do next. You love God, but you feel stuck. You want clarity on certain things, but everything makes you feel unsure. I'm going to talk about what to do when you feel lost. If feeling lost is where you are right now, you're not the only one. Feeling lost does not mean you have failed. It does not mean God has left you, and it does not mean that your life has no direction. It is the place where God begins to lead you differently. Feeling lost is not the end of your story. A lot of people panic when they feel lost. They assume they are behind or that they missed God. They assume that they should have everything figured out by now. The truth is, many people go through seasons where they feel uncertain, stretched, and unclear. Everyone can walk through moments where they do not know where the next step is. The problem is not always that you are doing something wrong. Sometimes the problem is that you are trying to carry the need for clarity for tomorrow and the future while only being given today's instruction, and that will wear you out. So let's talk about what to do when you feel lost. But before we get into that, click that like, notifications, and subscribe buttons, and if you want to hear more content like this. This helps to push it out so others can hear it as well. I have so much more to share with you. Okay, back to what to do when you feel lost. When you feel lost, point number 1, stop panicking and slow down. The first thing to do when you feel lost is to stop panicking. Panic makes everything louder and more chaotic. It clouds your thinking and it pushes you into rushed decisions. It convinces you that you need answers right now. But panic is a terrible guide. When you feel lost, you do not need more pressure. You need peace. You need to slow down long enough to hear clearly again. Sometimes the reason you feel more confused is not because God is absent. It is because fear is shouting at you louder than anything else. You cannot listen well when your mind is full of noise. So before you make a big move, before you assume the worst, before you start comparing your life to everyone else, pause, take a breath, pray honestly, get quiet. Not every unclear season is a crisis. Some seasons are simply calling you back into a deeper dependence on God. So stop panicking and just slow down. When you feel lost, point number 2, go back to what you know is true. When life feels unclear, go back to what is clear. They will not tell you that you are behind, that nothing is working, that God forgot about you, that your life is off track. But feelings are real and they can still be wrong. So go back to truth. God is still faithful. God is still with you. God is not confused about your life. He is not late. He is not limited. And He does not abandon His people in uncertain seasons. Sometimes you do not need a brand new revelation. You need to stand again on the truth that you already know. When you feel lost, remind yourself of what God has already spoken, what His Word says, and how He has carried you before. That steadies your heart. That gives you something solid to stand on while clarity is forming. When you feel lost, point number 3, focus on the next step, not the whole path. One reason people feel overwhelmed is because they are trying to see the whole path all at once. They want the full plan, They want every answer. They want complete certainty before they move. But that's not how God usually works. God often gives light for the next step, not the next 10 years. He teaches us to walk with Him one step at a time. That means when you feel lost, stop asking, how do I figure out my whole life? Start asking, what is the next right step? Maybe the next step is to rest, pray consistently, or to finish what is already in front of you. Maybe the next step is to stop avoiding the thing that God has already been nudging you to do. Clarity often grows through movement, not reckless movement, not anxious movement, but obedient movement. You do not need the full map of God's plan of the path ahead to obey God today. Point number 4, when you feel lost, let God use the hidden season. This is a part many people miss. Feeling lost can be deeply uncomfortable, but it can also be deeply formative. Some of the greatest work God does in your life happens in seasons when you do not have clear visibility of what's up ahead. Why? Because those are often the seasons where He is sharpening your trust, He is defining your character, your priorities, and your dependence on Him. We all want direction, but not many people want the process that prepares them for it. Sometimes God will allow a season to feel unclear because He is doing internal work that matters more than the immediate answers. He may be stripping away false dependence on other things other than Him, your dependence on other things. He may be exposing distractions in your life. He may be teaching you to stop building your peace on outcomes and start building your peace on Him. So do not waste the hidden season by only complaining about what you cannot see. Ask God what He is developing in you while you wait. I used to say, God, please clean me out of anything that would hold me back from going forward into what you have for me, and take that away and help me to understand what you're doing in my life, in me, during this waiting season. Number 5, when you feel lost, stop comparing your timeline. Comparison will only make a hard season feel even heavier. When you feel lost, it is tempting to look around you and think everyone else has clarity but you. Everyone else has momentum, success, and direction, all except you. You're the only one who doesn't have it. But that is rarely the full truth. You are often comparing your private process to someone else's public highlight, and that will always distort your perspective. God's plan for your life is not measured by someone else's speed. Being in a slower season does not mean you are failing. Being in a hidden season does not mean you are forgotten. And being in a season of uncertainty does not mean you are out of purpose. Stay in your lane, stay close to God, and stop letting someone else's visible progress make you despise your own process. What God is building in you may be slower than you wanted, but that does not mean it is less valuable. When you feel lost, point number 6, stay connected to God, not just the answers. This is one of the biggest shifts that you need when you feel lost. Do not chase answers more than you chase God. A lot of people want clarity, but what they really want is relief. They want the discomfort to end. They want certainty so they can feel in control again. But peace does not always come from having answers. Peace comes from staying connected to God. Sometimes you will not have all the details you want, but you can still have His presence. And His presence will steady you more than a perfect plan ever could. So keep praying, opening your Bible, worshiping, keep showing up, keep trusting. Do not disconnect from God just because this season feels unclear. Stay near Him. That is where strength returns. If you feel lost right now, hear this clearly. You are not abandoned or ruined. You are not too late. And you are not without direction, even if direction feels unclear in this moment. God knows exactly where you are. He knows exactly what you're going through. He knows what He is doing, and He knows how to lead you forward. He knows how to get you out of the season of feeling lost. Your job is not to force the future into focus. Your job is to trust Him in this moment, obey what He shows you, and refuse to let fear write your story. Feeling lost is not the end. It may actually be the place where deeper trust begins. If this message spoke to you, leave a comment and tell me, have you ever been in a season where you felt lost and what helped you get through it? Let me know below in the comments. And if this encouraged you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs hope in a confusing season. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, I am cheering you on.